What's up, guys? I'm Jason, aka Captain Nasty, your muscle captain. Welcome back to Anchored in Muscle Radio, episode 4. And B Nasty is over here. She has gone back to the laughing. She's doing her best to contain it because we're doing something new this time. We're on video. There's a camera on and also audio. So now she has to fucking bust out laughing. You guys are going to get to see this on video posted to YouTube. So what's up, guys? She's over here going crazy. I don't even think we can move forward with this podcast.
Just go.
I don't think we can move forward with the podcast until you get your laughing under control.
I don't know why I do it.
So we're gonna have to take breaks and shit, you know, so you can get your little.
No, just go.
You can
On your mark, get set, go.
You can get your little thing out of the way.
Whoosh.
So, all right, guys. Now this is something new.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you busting out laughing?
I'm not busting out right now.
You're about to bust out.
It's controlled.
Controlled busting out laughing.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have to tell me how that even makes sense because I really don't quite get it.
Because it's not out in the open.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to get rolling here, guys. We are going to get underway. Now, my off time is just about over. Well, actually, this is my last day. We are recording.
It's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. I go back to work. I get up at 2 o'clock in the damn morning.
Sometimes.
No, I have to get up at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
No, I get up on time. I don't always make it there. I don't always make it there on time.
He gets up on time to turn the alarm clock off and then crawls back in the bed.
No, I do not.
You do sometimes.
That is actually very rare.
You do sometimes, though.
That's very rare. Usually what happens is
sometimes.
If I end up getting behind, getting late, it's normally somewhere between making my protein shake and my oatmeal if I'm having oatmeal.
Or if I forget to make your meals.
Or if you forget to make my meals. It's somewhere between waking up and leaving, you know. And if you're that damn tired and you're fucking just walking around like a goddamn zombie in the house, for lack of a better term, trying to get ready. I mean, sometimes I lose track of time and I get busy.
I do that with normal sleep.
So yeah, we got down here a little bit again. My off time has been good. We had some good fun. We've had a lot of fun. I expected we would get a little bit more work done.
I had fun until the repercussions occurred.
Oh. You know what? This is going to be on black and white, so people are not going to be able to see how red you are. You really can't see. But okay, guys, now picture this. We went out swimming the other day with the kids, and Brandi comes up burnt to a crispy critter. If you follow us on Facebook, you probably saw some pictures.
I liken it to red hot coals. Yeah, glow in the dark red.
I posted a picture on Facebook the other day, and I went back and looked at
that picture. Does not do it justice.
That picture doesn't do it justice, and you're right. I wasn't paying attention to the mirror in the background. Because it really does look like you get just out there and hanging out in your panties or some shit.
I know, so I was like,
But what nobody will see.
I have those shorts on today because they don't hurt too bad, but I can prove that they're shorts.
But what nobody will see, though, is the fact that just a few minutes before that, you actually were out here topless because you were trying to, I'm like, I got to get out of this bra because we were about to train. Remember that?
Really?
Really what?
Thanks.
What's wrong with that? It's a private gym. I mean, who cares?
I changed into a big baggy sweatshirt and had to take my sports bra off because it hurts. And it hurts right now, so we need to bust a move.
Oh, my God. You know you're going to sit here with me. I'm pretty long-winded. We're gonna sit here for a little while.
And you've been long-winded getting shit together for like 2 hours. Baby, you're only going to have it on for just a little bit 2 hours ago.
Oh,
and
my
I'm still
God.
in it.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think you could just go around braless or
in my
some
big
shit all the time?
Sweatshirt, yes.
Oh my God!
It's not as Can we not talk about?
You have to pay to play. Okay, you want to get out in the sun, you want to enjoy, you want to have fun. You're gonna get burnt. Well, I got burnt.
Shut the fuck up and start the podcast.
I got though. You're back on the spot. You are back on the spot because we need an update on how Brandi's training, how is your comeback? We're a couple weeks into you getting back in the gym, trying to get your food back on point. How is it going? What's up with your food? What's up with your training? How you feeling mentally, emotionally? What's going on? You got to let us know because, again, like I said before, you are carrying the torch for the ladies.
You being off fucks me up.
Why? Do you hear that? I mean, me being home fucks her up. Now, what is
Because
up
we're
with
so
that?
go on things in the house, I forget to eat.
Go. You're talking about what the things that we're doing?
With anything, when you're home, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, gotta do this, hurry, we gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this. And I'm like, fuck, it's 5 hours later. I missed.
Well, one thing we always mess up on is I'll get up late. You get up early with your kids, and you're awesome to me because you know I'm getting up at 2:00 in the morning next week on days, and I'm not getting much sleep on nights, and I pretty much sleep in every day. You get up with the kids to get them off to school. But,
yeah, and then when I say I'm tired, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, we go to bed early.
yeah,
and I'm
we can
like,
go to bed early.
can I please just take like an hour nap?
No, there can't be naps during the day.
Yes, there can.
No, that's for old folks.
I pulled it off yesterday. Anyways.
Yeah, I knew you were taking a nap over there while I was trying to work. I already knew this. I knew it. So anyway, you got to give us an update on how you're feeling, how you're doing.
I feel good. I'm a little bloated right now.
Oh my God. You have to give us a little
And
bit.
my workouts are going awesome.
You have to give us a little
I'm
bit.
trying to. Shut up. Zip it.
Mm-mm.
If you let me finish. Quit twirling your finger at me. I want to say something else.
Well, you have to get moving. You just simply have to go.
I'm trying. You're not letting me. Is that a cue for me to go? You fucked me all up. Anyways, my workouts are going really good. No, I got to add plates onto the stack.
Oh, I know.
I know. That makes. Of course, I can't
I'm
wait till I
getting
can
tied
add
up in a
like
cord over here.
30 extra pounds to it, though. That's where I was.
That's where you were?
Like I could put 30 extra pounds on it, and my legs stuck to the chair again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it made a noise. I didn't fart. I promise.
You promise you didn't fart?
I promise.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Oh my goodness,
Absolutely
really?
positive. No, but I think it's going good. I'm pretty happy with where my weights are at.
Are you? You feeling good?
Uh-huh.
Feeling strong?
Uh-huh.
You got plenty of energy? How are you feeling coming back with your meals?
Typically, I'm really on point with my meals. It just seems like the past couple of days and over the weekend, I wasn't.
I'm talking about your energy levels.
Good.
Of course, now everybody, Brandi needs more sleep than anybody I've ever known
It's
in
not
my
just
life.
me. My mama did it, and so does my
Y'all-
sister.
People in your family need more sleep than anybody I've ever known.
We're nocturnal creatures.
I guess so. I guess so. So I'm glad.
And I'm not weighing myself, so y'all can hang that up.
No,
And I'm not even
we,
taking measurements. I just go by how I feel.
We haven't done any weigh-ins. We haven't done any of that.
And I won't.
It's likely that we won't be doing any of that. Well, we need to at some point. Yeah, we're going to have to at some point. Okay. But that's not the main focus. The main focus for you is how your clothes fit, your measurements, your strength level, your energy levels. Those are the main focuses.
I can say this. The time when I feel the most difference in my clothes is in the morning.
Yeah, you should.
Just in the morning. By the end of the day, I kind of feeling like I was, but for the
Well, I
most
mean,
part, I
yeah,
feel
if you're
good. I feel
eating
really,
all day.
really good in the morning.
Well, good. So, guys, now I spent yesterday, well, Brandi's talking about taking a nap. I spent yesterday trying to write. You're shooting me a
Ow.
finger. You realize that's on video. You're going to shoot me a finger. Brandi's flipping me off. So I'll
It's
flip
okay.
you off back.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a not safe for work podcast. It's also a not safe for work YouTube channel also. So I mean, who
It's not
cares?
explicit. We're good. Go.
Oh my God, you keep interrupting me. Why are you doing that?
You do it to me.
Okay, so yesterday the only way that you were able to get a nap because I was busy writing. I was trying to write a blog, and she's over there, and I'm like, are you sleeping?
But did I not answer you at the correct time?
No, I'm just resting my eyes. But yeah, I knew you were passed out over there. Okay, so I'm at the kitchen table with my laptop.
But I would answer you when you asked the question,
you
though.
would. So I'm at the kitchen table with my laptop, and I'm writing. And Brandy's over here sleeping. But, the more we had conversations about the blog that I was trying to write, the more that's how we kind of come up with our topic of the day. Now, the blog that will hit next is to be titled Look Good or Be Fit. So what do people want? What do they really want? Do you want to look good or do you want to be fit? Because what I keep seeing more than anything else is people who are training like they want to be fit, like they want to be a performance athlete rather than losing fat and building muscle being their goal. That's what I see.
Well, I ain't going to the Olympics anytime soon, so I kind of figure I just want to look good.
You just want to look good? You want to train to look good? Now, are they mutually exclusive? No, they're not. But, of course, if you're training to look good, yes, you're going to achieve a level of fitness and wellness while training and eating to look good, but they're not the same thing. They are definitely not the same thing. So, at the end of episode 2, we got into a book, one of my favorite books that I study. World-renowned coach Chris Aceto made a post about it. What was it? The day before yesterday or yesterday on Facebook, shared that on our fan page, our Anchored in Muscle group, and also our challenge group pages.
Excuse me.
And we're going to go back to the book since Brandi can read a lot more fluently than me because I'm like partially dyslexic.
we haven't tested it on camera yet, though.
We haven't tested it on camera yet. So hopefully Brandi can read without, swallowing her own tongue like I will, because what happens with me is my eyes and my brain can read it faster than I can speak it, and then I get jumbled up, so then I have to start over if I try to read out loud. So hopefully you can read out loud better than me. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to get into these passages because it never fails. You always end up wondering, you're trying to teach people, are they actually listening? And maybe they don't see me as the expert, so I'm going to bring the information, the no bullshit information to them from another resource. And we'll post links up in the show notes. It'll be there in the description for the video. So if you would, Brandi, read the passage, and then we're going to sit back.
That's not like a passage. That's like a chapter.
A few pages. Let's read these pages. I want everybody to listen up and hear what this is trying to say. And then we're going to see if we can't get an open-ended discussion about it.
Oh, that's my cue.
back to the book.
The 2 types of exercise include aerobic exercise, turn page, and anaerobic exercise. While both are effective methods to facilitate a lean body, one far outshines the other. Now, y'all, this is in blue highlight now.
Now, hold on just a minute.
I'm sorry.
Now, when he goes into discussing aerobic and anaerobic, now keep in mind, everybody, aerobic would be your cardio. Cardio-based, John Fonda, not just Jane Fonda, not just Jane Fonda. There's all kinds of things now that are really and truly basically cardio. Mm-hmm. So aerobic is cardio, right? Mm-hmm. And anaerobic is resistance training, weightlifting, things like that. Now go ahead.
Now this part, y'all, is highlighted in blue. Surprisingly, when it comes to exercise, anaerobic exercise, weight training beats up on aerobic exercise every time! Exclamation mark.
Every time.
Oh, I thought you were going to stop me. All right. Continuing on. Let's take a closer look at aerobic exercise. Running, cycling, stair climbing, brisk walking. Aerobic exercise is a calorie burner. Specifically, aerobic exercise taps, for the majority, stored fatty acids locked away in body fat stores as fuel.
Now, the one thing that I think he went short on, and not that I know more than him, but I just, when you're writing a book, maybe, I think there can be some interpretation. The one thing there, when he's going into your aerobic being fat burning, is he didn't specify the intensity. So what he's talking about is either low or medium, low to moderate intensity of cardio work, aerobic work.
Muscle glycogen, the body's reserve tank of glucose, is also used as a fuel source during aerobic exercise, but not to the degree fat is used. Many people fall under the impression that aerobic exercise burns exclusively and only fat. That is, there's this prevailing idea a person could sit on a stationary bike for 4 hours a day, every day, and burn exclusively body fat. Without immediately delving into the details, this is akin to thinking one could eat 500 calories a day, every day, and evolve into a lean, fit-looking physique. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. After 90 minutes of continuous cardio, the body melts away muscle with intense accuracy. In other words, at the 90-minute mark of intense cardio, you're burning muscle and killing your metabolism. The body adapts to aerobic exercise, by becoming energy efficient. By the time week 5 or 6 rolls around, the body begins to get used to aerobic exercise and adapts by performing the same physical work, yet using less calories or fuel to do that work. By the 52nd week, 2 things occur. Number 1, it takes drastically less fuel to perform the same work. That means the individual uses less energy to do the physical exercise. And number 2, the body adapts and downshifts its exercising metabolism. That means with continuous aerobic work, the body downgrades its release of enzymes and hormones that support the liberation of fatty acids from fat cells. Sounds familiar? It's the same phenomena we see with diets. Over a prolonged period of time, diets become ineffective as the body adapts to the calorie reductions. Take the individual who is trying to control body fat and is currently eating 3,000 calories each day and reduces this intake to 2,500 calories a day. The calorie deficit, 500 calories a day. Recall the rule in nutrition and exercise science: 1 pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. If you expend 3,500 calories off the body via exercise or cut out 3,500 extra calories from the foods you eat, you should lose 1 pound of fat. So the individual creating a 500 calorie deficit should lose 1 pound of fat in 7 days. And he does. Can he sustain that weight loss, 1 pound a week, over a 52-week period, even if he's got plenty of body fat to tap into? Highly unlikely. Why? Metabolic adaptations. The body adapts to a reduction in calories by eventually slowing its overall metabolism, making the most out of that 2,500 calories. The real way to change the body to lose fat and to keep it off, and the sole way to radically increase your metabolism, is to make weight training the primary mode of exercise, coupled with a nutrition plan that inhibits fat storage. Adding muscle mass bumps up the metabolic rate, something aerobic exercise cannot do. Your lean body mass, the total amount of muscle you carry, is directly correlated with how many calories you use up each day and how lean you can ultimately become. Weight training is totally unique and incomparable to aerobic exercise. While aerobics may initially be a good way to burn some extra calories, we've seen the calorie burn slows with time. With weight training, the adaptation is an increase in muscle mass, which increases the metabolism. Aerobics only, the metabolism downgrades. Weight training only, the metabolism upgrades. Increasing muscle mass increases the basal metabolism. The total amount of fuel the body requires and burns at absolute and complete rest.
You're tired. It is. Well, we can stop
Hang
there.
on. No, I need a sip.
No, I mean, we can stop there. It is going to get rather long. But the point that I wanted to get across here is weight training is, I don't even know how it can be debatable.
Oh, no,
at
let me
this
finish
point.
it. There's not that much left.
Okay, well,
I won't
continue
read
on.
the case study.
Okay.
3 overlooked ways to lose fat with added muscle. In addition to bumping up the metabolism by adding 10 pounds of new muscle, we missed 3 ways to get even leaner with weight training. Number 1 is expenditure. Obviously, building that muscle mass requires some type of hard physical effort. That is, training with weights to stimulate the body to develop those fresh 10 pounds of muscle mass requires energy. Assuming the individual did not radically alter his caloric intake during the time it took to build the muscle, it is prudent to say many of the calories required to do the physical work came from two places, fat stores or food. Obviously, had some of these calories come from fat stores, body fat levels would have decreased. And if some of the fuel came from the foods he ate, this leaves less net calories available to be stored as body fat. In other words, he either burned some body fat as fuel or he burned much of his food intake, which leaves less fuel available for the body to make body fat. Number 2, recovery. Weight training is very different than aerobic training in its need for fuel to recover. When an individual trains with weights, the stress placed upon the muscles causes tiny micro tears within the individual muscle fibers. Energy, or calories, is required to mend these damaged fibers. Put another way, it costs the body energy to repair itself. Building back broken down fibers requires energy even at rest. This means the individual who leaves the gym after having engaged in a hard weight training session will continue to experience an elevated metabolism until those fibers are completely repaired. He's literally burning calories outside the gym to repair his muscles. Aerobic exercise does not cause this effect. Once the aerobic session is completed, net calorie burn returns back to zero. In other words, an aerobic session will only burn calories during the exercise, never after. The metabolic edge of the individual training with weights, he burns fuel during and after each workout session. And number 3, glucose metabolism. Adding muscle to your frame changes the metabolism of sugar, which impacts body fat levels. Recall there are receptors for insulin on both muscle and fat cells, and these receptors act in a seesaw fashion. If the receptors on muscle tissue are more sensitive, they tend to dominate over those located on fat cells. Adding muscle makes muscle cells more insulin sensitive, which translates into a decrease in insulin output by the pancreas. When insulin levels are on the lower side as opposed to chronically elevated, the body is more apt to burn fat as fuel and to store glucose from carbohydrate foods as muscle glycogen. When glucose is being deposited as muscle glycogen, it is less likely to affect fat storage. Okay, I'll read the review real quick. So here's the review on what was just said. 1, adding muscle increases basal metabolism. Number 2, weight training burns fuel, some from body fat stores, some from foods eaten, both leaving you leaner. Number 3, recovering muscles require energy. And number 4, more muscle improves insulin sensitivity. The end.
That is a lot to read, but you know, we probably shouldn't have had such a long passage to read because
I cut out the case study.
I thought that reading it in its entirety, and of course you read really fast, but yeah, hey, everybody will be able to hear it. But the point that I'm trying to get across here is what I keep seeing, and I'm, you know, every type of workout has a place. Okay, every method has a place. But at some point, you have to decide. Either you have to decide which way you want to go, or stick to it.
Yeah.
I mean, one way or the other, because, what I kind of wanted to get into talking about is, why do you think it is? I have my opinion. Why do you think it is that so many people tend to end up doing things that I would call cardio? I mean, you know, jumping up and down and sitting on a BOSU ball and wall balls and just throw this and throw that and run hills and do this. I feel,
in my opinion, that we as a society have been hearing for ages, eons, years, whatever, that
cardio is the way.
Cardio. What? We have beautiful people out there who are, who are out there promoting cardio, and I guarantee you, there's some weights involved in there somewhere.
There is, and that's what I talked about.
Do you basically want to look like? And I'm gonna throw back to the 80s here.
Yeah, I mean, 80s. You know, we're not trying to offend anybody.
Look like,
you know?
No, not at all. Do you want to look like Jane Fonda, or do you want to be toned? Do you want to look like what they show you in Victoria's Secret's catalogs, or do you want to have some muscle definition, some toneness there?
Well, I wouldn't even
because
say,
they are actually, when they Photoshop them,
Yeah,
they
this is-
Photoshop them super smooth.
this is something you were telling me about yesterday. I've never heard of such a thing.
Yes.
Why, if somebody has muscles, why would you Photoshop muscles out of the picture?
Because that is not what is.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Why would you do that? Makes no sense.
There are a couple of them that actually do have abs, and they smooth them out in their photos.
That makes no sense at all, because like we talked about in another episode, we asked people to send us photos of what they would like to look at after their transformation or during their transformation. And every single photo that we got in, the person in that photo, somewhere along the line, weight training or some form of resistance training was the base, the foundation of what got them to where they are and what they look like.
Yep.
So, what because what I see the Fitbits, I see the these little gadgets and gadgets that calculate how many steps and how many calories and all these things. And I'm not saying they don't have a place. They have a place.
What a lot of people don't understand about those is it does not
They don't even calculate accurately.
What people understand is they do not allow or allot for how much they do on a regular basis. That what you do during your 8-hour work period, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You can throw that out the window. It's the extra.
But then you even get people who are trying to beat theirself every day on how many steps they're taking and how long they've elevated their heart rate. And there's nothing wrong with being fit. But fit is a measurement of how well you can perform a task, how well you can sustain. It's more of an endurance measurement.
It has to be within a continuous amount of time, not over bits and pieces here and there over the course of a day.
Well,
and a lot of people don't understand that.
Well, that's not even my point. What my point is if you want to be lean and muscular and being toned is not even defined in any of the books you study.
However,
being toned quotations is a descriptive term that we have came up with. Okay, you want to have a certain level of muscle and have a certain frame and have a certain level of leanness where you can see that muscle, or you want to be an athlete. Because I can tell you right now, and I'm looking at the camera, I work out all the time. I've been lifting weights all of my life, and there are plenty of people. There are people that we work with that if we went out here and tried to run hill sprints, I'd be puking on the side, and they would be running hill sprints like nobody's problem. But that's because that's what they've been doing. They have now achieved a higher level of fitness, but do they look the way that they want to look? And what I keep seeing...
They've learned endurance.
Right. What I keep seeing people do...
Which is fine.
Train themselves to have more endurance, to
but
train themselves to have
the muscles.
Right.
Doing that.
What happens is they think that it's calories in versus calories out. If I run so many miles, if I burn so many calories, if I have so many steps, then that means I'm losing fat. And that is not the case. That is absolutely not the case. Your body, what you are doing, your body is an adaptive machine. And what you are doing is you are teaching your body, you are encouraging your body to become more efficient at moving itself more and more efficient.
There's
in other words,
actually
your body
a term called skinny fat.
Right. But what you're doing is you are teaching your body to become more and more efficient at moving itself for a set amount of time. It's getting more and more efficient. It's using less and less energy to do the same amount of work. You're not encouraging it to grow stronger and grow bigger and therefore burn more calories on its own 24 hours a day. I know you're trying to get in here, and I'm going to let you get in, but I'm trying to drive that point home that what they are doing is teaching their body to burn actually less calories for the same amount of work.
Well, and what I was saying about skinny fat actually falls in line with what you're talking about, because I've seen many, many women come over to a couple of the, we're going to call them workout studios around our area,
And yeah, sure, they've lost weight, but I can tell you now, I have not seen any muscle definition, even the slightest bit, and that is called skinny fat.
Well, now keep in
And
mind.
they're the ones that have wanted to go to actually get toned
and cut.
which means a little bit, some muscle definition in the shoulders or
whatever. If you say toned, then I think, when you say toned to me, I think firm.
But I'm a woman.
Right, okay.
So I know what the women are talking about saying toned.
If someone says toned to me, that means that you are now firm and you have some muscular shape. You may not be ripped. You may not be shredded.
That's the same thing. Okay. But what I'm saying, though, is you can go and do all that cardio stuff that they're doing, and some of it has weights, but it's not challenging enough with the weight to actually build that muscle.
It's not progressive.
No.
That's the problem. So keep in mind, everybody, we are not saying that cardio is worthless.
No, it has its place.
All of these things have their place. It's like I tell people, if you want to do those types of routine, I would say yes, go do those types of routine if you're starting from ground zero, if you're starting from nothing.
Yes.
But what happens when at first you go out there and you start that routine and it's just fucking killing you. You're about to vomit. You can't breathe. You're sucking wind. But over about 3 weeks to a month, the next thing you know, your body's adapted to it now. Sure, you may have gotten a little bit of initial water loss, maybe some fat loss, but now your body's adapted to that level of work in that amount of time. You've got more endurance now. And now that's going to stall. Are you just going to keep doing that? Because if you continue to do that, and what they tend to do is they will just add more. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you begin to break muscle down even further, reducing your body's own ability to burn calories in the first place. Mm-hmm. Well, you had a point, so.
I lost it.
You lost your point? I keep trying to get these things across.
Basically, everyone that has sent us back a picture of what they want to look like, you can't be doing all that cardio. It's not gonna. You're not gonna look like that if you're
too
doing
much cardio going
all
on.
the cardio. You have got to do the weight training.
Now, we're not saying that it's worthless. I mean,
no.
We applaud all of the work that's being done. But you have to train for what you want to look like. And you have to train, eat, and recover for the way you want to look. And I think we're bombarded with so many commercials and so many infomercials and ads and magazines.
Hollywood.
And I think it's a huge misrepresentation of what's really going on. Because in my mind, I keep thinking, okay, why is it? Now, I understand not everybody's going to want to lift weights. No, I understand. It's all repackaging and somebody, coming up. Everybody has to come up with their own idea and resell it to you like it's magic, right? It's a marketing ploy. I get that. But why is it that it seems to me so simple? And if you read the actual real people who know what they're saying, there's no debate. Muscle burns calories, period. So why would you want to create a situation to where your body wants to become more efficient? Say you weigh 200 pounds. Okay. I think today I'm at 200 pounds. If I go out here and I start running I'm running 10 miles a day, I don't change my food. I'm eating the same amount of calories every day. If I stop weight training today, and I go out here and start running 5 miles a day, my body will be trying. What it's going to do is try to become more efficient. It's going to want to burn less calories. Mm-hmm. It will literally try to cut my muscle tissue because I'm not challenging my muscle tissue anymore. I'm not lifting. Okay. So I don't need to be that strong. It doesn't need that amount of muscle tissue anymore. You lose that
Your
muscle.
Your body eats itself.
Exactly right. You go catabolic.
Catabolic cannibalism.
Your body starts breaking that muscle tissue down to have less body weight. Therefore, it takes less calories to run that 5 miles a day. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it works. So, there has to be some sort of weight training. And now when we say weight training, we mean taking it to an intense. You have to force your body. You have to give it a reason to have muscle tissue, to build muscle tissue. If you put yourself in a caloric deficit because you're trying to lose weight, that's what you have to have, a caloric deficit at some point. But where people make a mistake then is they think, okay, well, I've got to train less intense. No, ma'am. No, sir. You have to still train your muscles as close to the maximum capacity as possible to send that signal to your body that it still needs that muscle. It can't get rid of it.
If you pay attention, and I don't know if anybody's really looked at them, but my logs that I post on my workouts, I will try to hit 12 reps. Okay. Well, guess what? If I can do 12 reps, I need to bump it up. That's not doing shit. So I'll bump it up until I can only get, so many to where I cannot push it anymore. And then that next workout, when I say it's a chest workout, the next time that chest workout rolls around, I start my starting weight not on the lowest number, but somewhere in the middle between the 12 and an 8, because that 12's not going to do me any good for what I want anymore.
Right. What you're trying to say is you are training in the 8 to 12 rep range lifting wise.
Yes.
And if she's trying to give you an example of how intense, how much weight, how much load that you have to use. If you can do 12 repetitions for 2 sets in a row, you're not lifting heavy enough. You need to bump it up. You need to bump that up. Mm-hmm. Because you need to be in a range, and I posted a photo yesterday and on all of our Facebook pages of a cross section of muscle fiber. Now, it only stands to reason. I keep coming back to this. If I just lift my arm, only enough fibers out of the thousands of fibers in that bicep muscle, if I just lift my arm up, it only fires enough fibers, as many fibers as it takes to move my arm. Now, if I put a 10-pound weight, it requires more fibers. If I put a 20-pound weight, it requires more fibers. The closer I get to my maximum is when those fast twitch muscle fibers kick in, which have a larger potential for growth and strength, and they also contain more glycogen, more sugar. So you always have to push your body. You want to take advantage. You want to fire every muscle tissue, every muscle fiber possible. If you want to burn off the maximum amount of energy, you have to do damage on some level. You have to get that micro trauma tearing going on, that scarring of that tissue. I like to describe it as like a spider web effect of a shattering piece of glass, so that your body has to repair. Your body has to repair. It needs to repair to become stronger for the next time that you train. And that is very costly in calories for your body. Overnight, while you sleep, is when your body makes those repairs, and its preferred fuel source for those repairs is fat stores. Mm-hmm. It will predominantly burn fat stores while you're repairing. So you want to burn the most amount of sugar or stored sugar, glycogen in the muscle during your workout. So you want to go as intense as possible. You want to activate as many muscle fibers as possible. And this is why I suggest to a lot of people, if their number one goal is fat loss, building muscle and fat loss, more full body workouts, more of the big movements, some multi-joint movements, because you're incorporating more muscles in one workout. And if you take those to the maximum, if you work out with this maximum intensity, maximum load, then you're burning the maximum amount of glucose. You're burning the maximum amount of sugar during that workout. If you get that intensity up, if you create those micro trauma tears, you're going to be burning fat stores overnight.
But he said, sometimes all you can do is just listen, because he says it all. No, but it's not meant to be easy. If you can pick that weight up and just go for it, it's too easy. I just want to give everybody the no bullshit information. And you know what? I don't go to failure when he's not around.
No, it's not failure. It has to do with
safe. It just has to be a little bit of a struggle there.
And as you and I were talking about this yesterday, I think you had a good point. And yeah, we were kicking this around yesterday when we were talking about doing this podcast. I think you had a good point, because basically the way, if everybody needs to call what they're doing something, they need a name for it. You got CrossFitters, you got power lifters, everybody needs a name. And what we're talking about is if you want to go soft with it, you call it physique training. Otherwise, it's called bodybuilding. And I think you're right.
Bodybuilding, I feel like, has gotten a bad rap, because when you say bodybuilding, you don't think of people who are like training for bikini or physique.
You definitely don't think
of figure. You don't think of that. You think of the big boys and the bodybuilding women, the big ones. And that's not.
But you definitely don't think about Joe Public.
No, you
and
don't.
Susie Soccer Mom.
But guess what? If you're lifting the weights to put on muscle, you're fucking bodybuilding.
Basically. And I think that's got to, anytime you're trying to sculpt your body, you are building your body. Anytime you are trying to put on muscle, increase muscle mass, and lose fat, you're building the body.
But it even took me a long time to realize that.
Well, I think you're right.
Because I used to have this same
stigmatism.
stereotype. There's a stigmatism with it.
I think there's become a stigmatism with it, and I don't understand why, because there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, who
I honestly
else?
think it's because of the aesthetics that the big boys and big girls put out there in the bodybuilding world. It's just, and they just kind of followed everything around.
Okay, but you have to understand, maybe people don't know, there's no way that you were going to look that way if you were natural.
Well, no, a lot of people don't know because they're not educated.
Well, that's fine. We will carry that torch. Okay. We will carry that torch. Send your questions to anchoredinmuscle@gmail.com. I'll carry that torch.
You know, they had the issues with, oh my God, steroids. Oh my God. And that, if you say bodybuilding, what
it's
are they?
Associated with steroids.
It's associated with steroids.
If you say bodybuilding, if you say bodybuilding, women automatically say, worry about being bulky. I get it. You're right. Yeah. And you know what? I didn't even think about it. I have myself held back and not called it that when we're trying to teach people. But I want to ask this common sense question here on the air, and because I'm hoping that most of our people listen to this. Now, who else would you take advice from? Who else would you really follow other than the people whose job it is to be the leanest people on the planet?
Because I was automatically going, Daniel and Bailey.
Daniel and Bailey is amazing, but what I'm trying to say...
I know, but that's the first person that pops in my head just because I love her.
Basically, what we have been trying to teach, what I try to teach, for a lack of a better word, is really taking the techniques, the tips and the tricks of professional physique and bodybuilding athletes and adapting it for everyday general public.
Yeah.
And that doesn't require drugs.
No.
But the only thing that the drugs do is enhance what your body can already do on its own. And that's it. Yeah. So you can still, Joe Public and Susie Soccer Mom can still use all of the same training techniques, all of the same dieting techniques. But where people go wrong is they keep switching it up.
Yes.
And they hear all of these outside things.
You have to make up your mind and stick with it for a period of time.
Weight training is always going to be the way.
Bounce around. It's just not going to work that way.
Look, I can't say this enough before we get out of here because we are getting long-winded. My point to everyone is this. Again, like we always say, anchor yourself in muscle. Invest. Secure yourself in your muscle tissue. It is the muscle tissue that is going to serve to help you lose fat. It is the muscle tissue that is going to help you get lean and stay lean. And the only way to do that is to have progressive resistance training. I say resistance, really, I mean weights, but it doesn't have to be weights. If you want to wear a weighted vest and do body squats, then okay, but that vest needs to get heavier and heavier and heavier over time as you adapt.
If you don't have access to heavier and heavier, you need to learn how to use, okay, we're not even going to get into all that because that gets way out there.
But the point being, though, the weight, the amount of resistance has to be progressive. It has to continue to get more and more and more. You don't want to simply, lift a 20-pound dumbbell for 50 reps for 50 sets. Eventually you're going to adapt to that, and you're not doing anything. Or running hill sprints the same amount with the same weight, and eventually maybe you lose a little bit of weight, so it loses its effect. Your body's not even burning as many calories anymore.
Yeah.
And then worse come to worse, you lose muscle. Then at some point either you fall off, for life gets in the way or whatever, or you quit. You're setting yourself up. If you now have less muscle, now you have less muscle burning those calories. So the food that you eat is going to start packing on fat again. So look, I know we're getting a little bit long. We got kids we got to pick up from school. So let's go in here. Let's get busy going over all of our contests, because we had announcements of contests and challenges coming up. So Brandi, get with it. Announce our contest. Take us out of here.
We're giving away 5 $25 gift certificates from who are they called? First Form. Now that I can't talk.
First Form gift card giveaways.
Thank you. Anyways, one is going to go to the best towboat story. One goes to our mini challenge winner, which we have ongoing now through the end of May. Through the end of May. It's a little push-up challenge. The third one goes to the best picture of a sunset scenery picture from a boat. The next one is
that only for people on a boat? Nobody else who's following us can get in on that? You're just wanting boat pictures only?
I'm hoping to get, anybody can send it, but I really want towboat pictures.
You really want towboat pictures?
I was trying to get after our towboaters.
Yeah, we're trying to serve, but not just towboaters, but anyone in the maritime field.
Well, that's why I said from a boat.
Rig workers.
That's okay.
Derrick workers.
I'm sorry.
Maritime.
Anyways, and then the next one, number 4, is to like, share, subscribe to, you have to like, share, and subscribe, all of those, to our Facebook fan page, our blog, and our podcast. And the last one is to send us pictures of your workout area on the boat, rig, wherever.
Wait a minute. Now, for all of these gift cards and challenges, they need to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast, our blog, our YouTube channel. For all of these. That's not a separate contest.
I thought I'd made that a separate part. Well, fuck.
It's okay.
I hate you now.
If we're giving people, hey, we need you guys' support. We need your support. So if we're giving away shit, then we need you to support us. We need you to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Bring a friend.
Okay. Well,
because we need their support to get the word out of what we're trying to do.
Then we have to figure out something for one more.
Oh, we can do that.
We'll do that later. Anyway, shout outs. Go.
Shout out to Towboating Addiction. Those guys have been super supportive, sharing our stuff. Shout out to Towboater families. Shout out to the Anchored in Muscle Challenge crew. They are battling it out. We are halfway through our 90-day challenge. Shout out to the Anchored in Muscle Workout Challenge crew, because I don't know what's wrong with everybody. We only got 2 people so far who are trying to get these push-ups in, so that's going to be easy. I'm fixing to join
in with them to play along.
That's going to be easy. So, guys,
I don't get to win, just so y'all know.
We have to get out of here. Brandi, let them know where all of our contacts are and how they can support what we do.
You can contact us via email at anchoredinmuscle@gmail.com with questions, comments, suggestions. We would highly appreciate suggestions if you have any. You can visit our website at anchoredinmuscle.com, because I know we're trying to get off of here. And there you'll find, a link to our First Form page, our blog, the podcast.
All the
some
products.
Gallery stuff.
All the First Form products are there on our page, anchoredinmuscle.com.
Oh, and tell them what we're starting up finally. I'm working on it.
We are working on an Amazon affiliate. So everything that we use in our day-to-day, our meal prep things, our
what I use to cook with
things, are anything, because I get asked questions all the time. Where do you find? What's the best shaker bottle? What's the best food scale? What's the best compression cuffs for your elbows? What's the best knee wraps? What wrist straps? I get asked all these questions. So we, in an effort to keep everything that we continue to do free, where we're not charging anyone, of course, we have now applied to be an affiliate for Amazon. We will put those products up on our website. So if you choose to buy something, if you need it,
we would highly
appreciate it if you would
the
support. Go to our website, get that. Let us share you a link. They will give us a little bit.
Material,
100% disclosure. We will get. I think it's 2 to 4%. They don't have to. They don't pay us nothing extra.
Nope.
Let the big company pay us a little bit, like a finder's fee.
Let them pay
we would
us,
really appreciate the support. And if you want to find the products directly on First Form,
go to firstform.com/anchored in muscle.
All right, guys, I've had a ton of fun. This has been a little bit different, a little bit awkward. It took us a little bit to get going. We did read quite a bit, but
yes,
we're still finding we're still finding our way here with the podcast thing. And I threw something different on her with moving it out into the gym. We have
camera, microphone.
We got the camera going, so it kind of threw a monkey wrench. But we're trying new things. We're trying to
I don't even think I looked at the camera.
That's okay. We're trying to develop. We're trying to get even further along. So, here we go, guys. We are going to get out of here. You want to say bye, Brandi?
Bye.
Bye.
Later, bro.
Later, bro. All right, guys. We are going to get out of here. Later.